First of all, I want to say that I don't really speak English that well, so sorry if my pronunciation is bad or if I say something not understandable. Thank you. I, Yo, good day, people. I'm here just making this random video because I want to just give you an update in this little project I have. I already shown a little video about it. I'm basically doing, I hope so, the entire map of Darkwood in Vintage Story, Vintage Story better than Minecraft. I show you the first hideout here, and I've been doing a lot of the buildings from the dry meadow, the first map, and I think it's going pretty well. So I want to just give you a little showcase and explain maybe some interesting stuff for the buildings. So yeah, let's get started. This is the camp that is full of wolves. So yeah, it's pretty simple. Maybe I put a reference image here, so you can do a little comparison. So yeah, interesting. I managed to do this with this. Let me see if I can catch it. There. This little. Well, this little thing. I just the chisel. The chisel is, oh my god, it's my life, man. So yeah, and with all the bamboo wooden planks, I think, I don't know how they call them, but yeah, and make this little tent. Looks pretty accurate to the game. I don't really remember if you could see inside the tents. I think not. So yeah, I just do a reinterpretation with a little bed, some jokes, and some books and other stuff. But I think it looks pretty well. It's just a simple building. But there you have it. We have the actual Wolfman's camp. So yeah, same as always. You can see here a little comparison. Yeah, yeah. That's not much to say. Actually, this part in the game, I didn't really know what it was. I think it was like a buried tractor. So yeah, that's what I tried to do. It was a little difficult, but looks. I think it looks good. And this is my favorite, but you will see this little lamp little more often in the other buildings. But I really like how this came out. It's a bunch of clutter. This is something I really like about the game, that you can use this type of items called clutter, and with the wrench you can just move it around. It's just a really good feature. So I managed to do this, and it actually works. It's the coolest thing. And you can see it actually works with this. Let me see. I don't know where's the hitbox. This is the problem with the chlorine thing. I don't really know where the hitbox goes. Whatever. Oh wait. There you have it. Thanks to this little lamp. Actually, this also makes a little thing light, but I prefer this one. So yeah, it really looks like an actual lamp. It's super cool, to be honest. So yeah, that's much it for Wolfscam. You can see it here, and let's get to another one. This is the underground entrance. It's funny because this part, it was really interesting because obviously the roof and some parts of the walls I have to give some creative freedom because I don't really know how they look in the game, because the game is at top-down perspective. So yeah, but it was super cool with this one because I will put the reference right here. But you can see in this part, there's like a reflection, the shadows of the roof in the floor, and it just looks really good. You know, it gave me a really good idea of how to do this part, and you know, just those details about the game that I really love. Really good games, but Darkwood and Vintage Story. Oh my god! So basically, here is the mostly all of the houses look the same, to be honest. So yeah, but the interesting thing is that this was an interpretation, because I don't know if it's mentioned in the game, but the house in the underground entrance, if you see it in the sprite of the actual game, looks like a burned house. You know, like the burned house in the joint meadow and the old woods entrance. So yeah, so I tried to do it a little bit different with this wood. The rotten ebony planks looks like burned wood, I guess. So yeah, and I also use this layer of dust. This is something really cool about the game. You know, you can put actually dust in the buildings. You know, yeah, that's what I love this game, and these little traces of mud and all the stuff. So yeah, I tried to give it a more burnt look, with also the doors using old doors. You can see all the details. Here's the bear trap in here. Also, I changed, because in my last video I used these glass panels. Yeah, these ones. But I found, you know, it's funny because 90% of all the buildings are vanilla. You know, there's some few things that are from mods, but mostly the I use the Cupid chisel tools to help me do the chisel stuff, and the but for the buildings I 99% use vanilla items. But I found these ones from the let me see, from the something furniture, I don't remember to be honest, but yeah. And really, it's really good because you can actually open them, and with the this is with another mod, is the I don't really remember, but it's the mod that allows you to climb walls, you know. So I just do shift, and there you go. I can do this like in the game. Wow, it's like in the game. Oh my god. But I'm trying to use just vanilla items, because you know, imagine just all of this is just vanilla. You know, this is from a mod, but everything else is just vanilla, man. Just fucking impressive, man. Oh my god, I love this game. But yeah, this little corpse of a dog. I think you can see it in the sprite in the actual game. I think it's a corpse, but yeah. Here's another corpse, and skeleton. Here is the interesting part. Here's another backdrop. The odd mushrooms and the actual entrance. Oh, this is I did this with the QP chisel tools, the door option, and it looks really good. I don't really know if maybe someone knows. Please let me know there. I know that there's a way to change the sounds of the door. I put these stone sounds, but I really want to put, you know, some more uh, metallic sounds, like for example, you know, something like this. But I don't know. I don't know the name of the sounds. I know the command, but I don't know the name of the sound. So if someone can help me with that, it would be pretty cool. So yeah, here's the lamp. Just saw it in the last video, but this is a turn off. You can see it doesn't work. So yeah, this is spooky. And here we have the interesting part. It's the entrance. They don't really show you how the entrance is, so I tried to do a little interpretation. So I did this part, and then it's the actual entrance. By the way, this world I don't remember the mod, but it's a mod that allows you to have deeper lane wars, because I love this game, man, but I don't know why the flat wars are just really, they have no depth. You know, I don't understand that. So yeah, this is the interesting part, though. I also use a lot of creative freedom with this part because I didn't. It's a cave, so I didn't want to be all accurate. I wanted to make it a little more natural. So yeah, here's the first. But I don't really know, to be honest. I actually never seen what's behind this bolt because I know that in the game you can use a shovel in this part, and I don't really know what happens if you do it. And I never try it. I'm gonna. Here is the rest of the cave. Here's the little backpack you found with the magazines of cars and stuff. And here is, you can see in the game these little, like, little squares. I will put an image here, but I thought they were like, yeah, like this, like little entrances, like when you see in mines and that stuff. So yeah, I tried to do that, and yeah, you can see all the cave. you know, you can see it's really working because not gonna lie, I don't really look like being down here. It's a little uncomfortable like in the game, but yeah, here, if I'm not wrong, it's where the little creature appears up in the ceiling. uh, that's what I make this little thing here, like you can see maybe the creature going like this and thing here. So yeah, and here is this part, this all block part. So yeah, and I I don't really know, but I thought that there was like water in this part. So yeah, I put some water. I think it looks really good, to be honest. It makes that cave appearance look more good. Here's the little corpse that is in here, and here is the I don't actually know what is this in the game, but it's really creepy, and I tried to do the mouth. Yeah, it's really simple, to be honest, but I think it looks pretty accurate to the game. So yeah, and here we have the rest. Oh, by the way, all of this it's super creepy without the light. It's like in the game, it's just pitch black. Just look at this, boom. There's nothing you can see anything. It's creepy. Oh my god. This is another thing I don't really like. Like, I don't know why this type of clutter had this big ass hitbox. That's a big critic I have of the game. It's just a little annoying. Like, look at this. It's just funny. So, because with others like this, the skeleton, it's a good hitbox. And other like these ones. But I don't know why this was just this big ass hitbox. I don't get it. It's just annoying. But yeah, here we go. And here it's the next part. Here's the other side of the other part we saw. And here it's the famous entrance. I'm planning of maybe doing the actual door like in the game with the number 21, but for now I just put this random metal door, iron door. So yeah, there's nothing in here because I want to actually just I want to actually connect all the parts in the game. Like do the actual path to the swamp. So yeah, that's what I haven't done it yet. I want to actually connect this part with if I do the entire map. So yeah, that's basically it with the underground entrance. Here is how it looks, and there we go. This is the underground entrance. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, this is actually one of my favorites. It's a really simple one. It's the shrine. But I don't know. It really looks. I think it's the most accurate. You can see here. I put a picture. I don't know. It just looks really good. The little statue in here. I put some absurd details in this. Like, look at this. I even did the back of the statue. You can't see obviously this, but but I didn't just because I don't know. And that's it. This part, you know, I was planning on putting this one. Oh my god, this one. This kind of floor. Obviously not the same color. Mostly this like orange brownish color. But the problem is that you can't turn it around with the wrench. So I was actually planning on installing a mod that allows you to use the wrench in the roof. But at the end, I just did it with the roof blinds beams, and it turned out pretty well. It looks more like the roof got destroyed when the shrine fell down. So it looks good. And here is the little Christ. Looks pretty decent, and that's it. My favorite one, to be honest. Looks just as in the game. It's super cool. I will show you this in a moment, but it's basically the I don't know how do they call these things. I will put an image here, but yeah, it's the thing that you see in the wedding, and if I'm not wrong, in the swamp too. But yeah, you'll see it in a minute. Here is the fallen tree. One of the weapons you got in the map. It's pretty normal. This is something that I would also love to the having vintage, and it's more detailed trees. There's always this problem that vintage looks like Minecraft, and I don't know. Yeah, I think something that will change that look from Minecraft is the trees. I feel that they could be a little more detailed. Like not just this cube and that's it. Something more like the apple trees that are in the game, in the actual game. There's apple trees with actual branches. More thin uh, logs and all the stuff, and it looks really good. I don't know why. I hope maybe in the future they remodel the trees because I don't know. I just feel it will look really cool, with actual branches and all that, and to give more details to with the constructions, because I have to just use the actual logs and maybe some branches from the clutter and with these fucking big ass hitboxes. But yeah, vintage. If you're hearing this, please remodel the trees, please. I hope maybe in the future because they look pretty lame, just like Minecraft. So yeah, and there's not much I can say about this one. It's just a fallen tree. So yeah. Here is the maze, or well, the cornfield. I tried to make it as accurate as possible because I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty lazy to do the actual path that you can actually get to this part, like in the game. But it's not like the actual path that you have to get to the treasure. But it's similar. It's similar. But yeah, these this is all vanilla. Really cool how it turned out. Here's the original model without the mod and stuff. But it's really cool. I really like how it turned out. Is the tractor. I know they don't really look like in the game from the top view, but I will put an image so you can see here. But I based it on the image that you can see now here, that is in the dialogue with the musician. I think it looks more like an actual truck, and it turned out pretty well. This is the destroyed one. Here is the original model, so you can see it better. I tried to put as many details as possible. Like for example, you can see this thing that you can see beneath the cars. That this thing that joins the wheels and the back. It's not that. I was actually planning on making it functional, you know, like doing the chisel door with the cupid chisel and make it an actual interior. And I got pretty lazy, so yeah. But it looks really cool. You know, here's the tractor. Here is the wagon, more destroyed, you know, and in the ground, and the destroyed tractor. You know, this is really cool. I use the hand wedge. I used to, you know, to push the chisel block to look more like it's a little flat, you know, and looks really well. And here is the tractor again. There's not much to say about it. Here I put an image in comparison. A little wolfie, oh my god, woof. You know, this is really cool. Also in the game, you can literally pet anything. You know, even the creatures. You know, like the bell and the shiver. You know, it's the entrance to the Silent Forest. So yeah, here we got the generic house I'm doing. This stuff you can see here. Here is the generator. I changed it. I also changed the one in the house because I don't know if I felt that was, you know, too much. The thing I put in there. So yeah, I just make it more simple. But looks like in the game. You know, that's the important thing. Here's the metal door. You know, when you put tree, and boom, we'll see that later. Here's the little fence here with the big ass seed box again, and yeah, the fence thing that is in here. The entrance with the little chest in here. The fallen door, you know, and here is the interior, and here is the infection, the thing, the little bug things, creatures. I'm not gonna lie, it looks really good. You know, it's give me the creeps. You know, like the trypophobic. You know, it's give me that vibes. But yeah, oh yeah, these things. You know, in the game you can see these things. I don't really get what it is. You know, a friend told me that looks like a metal window. You know, some because you can see through it. It's like just like a metal thing. So and it doesn't look like a barricaded window. So I thought, yeah, it's like a metal window. I don't know. It's weird. So I use this boiler door, and yeah, it looks, I guess, accurate to the game. And here is the next part of the house. Here's the oven and the firewood, and yeah, that's it. Here's the lamp, and I haven't put the worms. No, I haven't figured out how to put them. But for now, it will just stay like this, you know, without the little worms. But you get the idea. Here's the closed door. You can I think you can't open this door in the game, but you know where it leads. We'll see it in a minute. So yeah, here is the hole in the house. And here is this part. I really like this one. Oh yeah, I will put an image here in comparison. Here's the bathtubs that are in here. Looks, you know, looks really good. Gives me the vibes, you know. Here, this part, I thought in the game this was like a barn, like something to put the animals and something like that. So I give this look, you know, like I did in the generator room in the first hideout. Oh look this man, this looks really cool, man. Oh my god, I love this game. But yeah, I will say it again, but keep in mind that 90% of this is it's vanilla. You know, all of it you can do in the game. I love this. Here is the metal door, the entrance. You know, for this floor, I was trying to, you know, how to figure out how to do the floor like in the game, because it's like a metal floor with this pattern. First of all, I use these logs. That's this part at the end. But then I found out about these pads, wooden pads, and they looked pretty accurate, you know. So yeah, here is the thing, you know. The thing you put to feed the animals. I don't know how they call it, but yeah, and that's it. The the corpses of the cows, I think. And here is the egg, you know, the embryo, you know, and looks like an egg, you know. I use a termite mound. You know, the cool thing about this block is that you can actually break it and wait, and you know, it's just like this, you know, like in the game. Because it's really freaky. But yeah, here is the little egg, and the next part of the house with all the rubble and stuff. And here it is, the other part of the house, where the iron door leads. So yeah, here's the lamp. Here's where I did it for the first time. Actually, I used a bell head. I think it's called. Yeah, bell head. But you know, it looks like the head of a lamp. But then I found out about this 8 long head, and it looks really more like a lamp, you know. And yeah, here's the little wardrobe, and here is with the crazy people are, you know. Here's where crazy guy is with the stick, with the long stick, and I use the charcoal to do all the drawings in the floor and the walls. You can see, like, you know, looks like it was trapped here for a long time, you know. It's, you know, gives just these details to the game. You can see the two wardrobes here, the corpse and the little chair. And actually you can put the crazy person in here. I can use a surface shiver, you know. It looks like a savage, you know, of the game. It looks more like a chomper, you know, because of the head, but the colors and stuff, you know, or maybe I can put a bow throw on, you know. Man, just this game is like it's basically like Minecraft but with Darkwood vibes, you know. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this building. Oh, the entrance, the entrance. There's not much. It's just the entrance. I will obviously try to do the silent forest. The silent forest, yeah. I will try to do it in the future, but for now I'm sticking to the dry meadow. I'm really excited to do the swamp because it's my favorite part of the game. But I will try to do it in order. So yeah, first we're doing the dry meadow. But yeah, here is the poisonous mushrooms, you know, and here is the sleeping guy. I was actually planning on doing it with chisel, you know, but for now I just put this little scaly friend, you know, just lying in there. Well, it looks like the game, I guess. And yeah, that's it for this building. It, it's one of my favorites, to be honest. But now I think that the only one we got left is. And yeah, here we have. Let's do the actual path, like in the game. You can see all the trees and these creepy ass trees. Oh yeah, for the trees I use the tree tool, you know, with the magic wand. And I just select the, I think it's called the old oak trees, these ones, and it looks pretty good, you know. They are really thick trees and really big ones with a lot of branches, you know. If you remove all the leaves, you know, looks like a lot of branches, you know, like in game. So yeah, like in Darkwood. And for the entrance to the Silent Forest, I used the regular oak trees. You know, to they're more thinner, and yeah, that's it. Really making my job really easy because I was first thinking about chiseling the trees, you know, making a tree with a lot of branches and stuff. But I that was gonna kill me, you know, just too much. So yeah, I just used the wand, and it just made my job really more easier, you know. Here is the little flower path, you know, you can just follow it. Same as the cornfield, it's not that accurate like in the game, but it's a little the most accurate as possible, you know. So yeah, here we go, and we are in here. You can see the maze. I will put an image here, you know, so you can see the comparison. And here is the thing. I don't know how it's called, but you can see, yeah, a little more better. It's more rusty and old and abandoned, you know. I It's actually functional, and when I say functional, I mean that you can climb on it, you know. You can go here and whoop, and you can sit in here, and yeah, you can basically use it. Obviously it doesn't work, but yeah, you get the point. I try to also have some creative freedom with stuff like this, you know, for the sites and this. At least yeah, in the sprite you can see this is like a ladder, you know. I was actually trying to chisel the ladder like I did in there, but I wanted to also function like a ladder, so I put an actual ladder. So yeah, and yeah, that's it. I really like this one too. You know, it's just really good like in the game. You know, like wow, and yeah. So yeah, that's it. And here is the entrance of the wedding. Oh my god! And yeah, I was gonna put an actual dog, you know, because there's a dog in this part of the game. It should be roaming around somewhere. You know, I put a little wolf. Here it is, the little one. But yeah, I don't know how to put it in a leash. You know, to be honest, the leashes in this game are a little weird. But yeah, uh, and here it is, the little sign. I don't know what it says in the game, but I tried to do something, you know. And another cool detail about is this part is that if you notice in the game, you can see the side of this building. You know, you can see the walls. So that means that it's like falling. You know, like it's falling to the side. So I try to maybe do it like it's, you know, tilt a little bit. You know, like it's falling. Looks interesting. And here we have this part. This, you know, I didn't notice when I was trying to have footage to have some reference that these little strings, you know, that you see in the wedding, they are not in here when you don't receive the invitation. You know, if you go to the wedding and don't have an invitation, these things won't be here. I know it's just a little detail, you know. I didn't notice the first time I played the game, but yeah. Oh, I have a little mistake in there. Let me fix it. There we go. So yeah, here's the little table with the chair and all the food, the cheese, obviously. Also some little candles. You know, they shine a little like in the game. You know, you can see in the night. Oh my god, you know, it's really creepy to be honest. Oh my god. And here is the wedding. You know, all the trees covering the ceiling. You know, super creepy. Here is the tables. Here the image, and the well, the broken well with actual water. Let me fall down. I can fall down. I don't know why. Yeah, I put a little. There's a little blocky. There we go. You know, here is a little blocky thing. You know, to put this rope in here. There's water in there. But yeah, Here's the wagon. I used the same wagon, but I replaced the floor and put some little ropes and these things. I don't really know. Deep, deep, deep sundial. No, I don't really know what it's that. Not gonna lie. Looks like flowers. You know, it works. And here is the other table. The little book. You know, if you notice in the game, there's like a book. You know, just laying in here. It's just a little detail. The house with the little carpet in here. Actually, this carpet looks similar to the one in the game. It's cool, very cool. But yeah. Oh, also, I didn't mention these things. You see these things in other houses and in the first hideout. Not gonna lie, I don't really know what they are. They look like a little roof. You know, sometimes you see in houses, you know, like little roofs with firewood. But if that's the case in the game, you technically could, you know, go through it because if it's a roof, you know, you can technically go beneath it, but you can't. So I just assume it's something in the floor. So yeah, I don't really know what it is. So yeah, I just put these things. So let's get into it. You'll see this in a moment. You know, here's a little peeky holes. You can see there the first room of the house with the little strings and stuff, and the kitchen. You know, here's some details. You know, if you see in the game, you can see like something came out of the oven or something was dragged into the oven. You know, it's just a little creepy. But here's the wardrobe, the table, and the piggy thing. Here's where the piggy is. There's no pigs in this game. You know, vintage, please. We need pigs. We need pigs. Here's the entrance. Same with the first hideout. If you notice in the video, I did this little thing in the hallway entrance. The first hideout, you can build a door. So I interpreted like you do like a little, you know, improvised door because I don't know. I just feel it's weird, at least in this game in vintage, that you have a hallway entrance. This thing, you know, just one block, you know, in length. So yeah, I maybe thought expand it a little bit. I mean, it looks better. You know, it looks like a hallway entrance. And if you want to do a little improvised door, you know, you can maybe do it with some beams there. Well, you know, here's the carpet looking same as the actual game. And then here I used these 2x2 gates because I assume this is the, yeah, like a entrance to the backyard, something like that. So I know I figured out this door, you know, I see this door and I see, yeah, it could work as a backyard entrance, you know, just to give a little more variety. uh, Obviously in the game it's a normal door like all the doors, but I try to make it a little more different. But, and yeah, here we got the backyard with the generator. Here's where you can see the bride just running, you know, running around like the tractor, you know, this tractor with the roots. I try to do it, you know, like it's being devoured by the roots, and looks really good. You know, I would love if the game had more detailed trees, you know, but yeah, I have to work with this. But looks good. Here we have the entrance to this part. You can actually enter like in the game. Wow. And here is the party, you know, the lamp, the falling chairs, and all the tables. And here's where the guy is banging his head with the table. And here is the radio. I will use the same radio for the one in the doctor's house. here is this room with the little couch. This is from a mod, you know. This is here you have the picky holes, and yeah, that's it for this room. And here is the final room. Chairs in here and the table, and this tree room thing. I don't know, with all the candles. You can see it here. You know, it's just like in the game, just as creepy as it is in the game. And yeah, that's it. Not much to say with this room. Obviously, it's not accurate. You know where the trees are, but it gets the idea. You know, here's where the bride appears, and you go, "Oh my god!" and just run. And here is the interesting part. I was thinking, you know, if the bride is actually here, it's not a vision or something like that. Then where she is? Where is she? Where is she? You know, in the house. I mean, because you can go all in the house looking for her, and you won't find it until she appears when you go to this room. You know. So I think, oh, why not make a little thingy? You know, I saw this room. I was thinking on doing another uh, attic for the house like I did in the first hideout. But for this room, you know, I thought, I want this room to be big, you know, to feel big. So I just this thing with the roof. But in here and here, there's a roof more with, you know, more close, you know, to the to my head. So you can go in here and see that there's a little attic, and here it's oh this thing, you know, a little bed with some books, candles, this picture, you know, of a couple, and this chain. You know, I wanted to give this lore, you know, that the bride it's living in the attic, you know, like imagine like all the disease and stuff happening in the Darkwood, you know, and then suddenly the bride becomes infected. So maybe the father, maybe the husband, anything, said, "Oh, I don't want to lose her," so they just put it in the attic and chain her here, you know. And maybe some stuff happens in the house, and then she escapes, you know, and now she's just living here, you know. Then she hears you, you know, roaming around. Then she goes down, and here is where she attacks comes, whatever, you know. And it's like in the game, you know, because she comes right here, if I'm not wrong, you know. So yeah, makes sense, and it's a little cool detail I wanted to make. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think for all the buildings, you know, you have a good look around with the wedding, you know. Let me put the a clip. Here you have it. I would love, you know, if having all the trees in the roof will make cast a shadow, you know, so this room is just, you know, pitch black like in the game. But I think that's a problem of the shadows because I haven't turned it off because my computer dies. You know, I love this game. You know, it's really much better optimized than Minecraft. But the shadow thingy is a little laggy still, so yeah, that's why I have to turn it off. So yeah, but it looks pretty good, you know, still, you know, with the fog and the color effects I put with the appearance options, you know, it looks more like in the game, and it gives the creepy vibes, you know, without being all that dark. But yeah, that's pretty much it with the buildings. Here is a big look of the wedding. And oh my god, the fog. But that's it. That's what I have right now. If I'm not wrong, I still have to do the first burn house, and The second burn house, that is the entrance to the old woods, and that will be all for the dry meadow. I think. I don't know if I'm forgetting something. If I do, I will put it in here. If yeah, that's it. So hope you like this little thing. I will maybe for future videos, try to do like the first hideout. I want to maybe do like a little short film, like I did in the first video. Uh, it was a little difficult, but it's cool. So for now, I want to make this, and maybe in the future, make other updates. Explaining some of the buildings, showing it, and maybe give some curious things about them. But yeah, hope you liked it, and I hope I can finish this thing. And yeah, let me do the emote. Wait, there we go. Bye bye, people, gente, lo que sea. Well,